What's up, guys? It has been a minute since we've done anything to the S14, but today we got it pulled into the shop and I'm getting ready to tear the engine out of this thing, and we are gonna get this thing ready for the whole new build to come. A lot of you guys have probably forgot about this thing. It's just been sitting in the corner. Quick background on the car. I got this thing from Emilio a long time ago. It had the S14 in it when I got it from him, but it had a rod knock, so he sold it to me pretty cheap. We pulled it apart, fixed it up, and then we got it all put back together. It made like 350 horsepower on our dyno when we first moved into this shop. And then it was just kind of sitting for a while. We ended up taking it to a drift event along with Trevor from Motion Auto TV. Adam LZ was down there, and it was the first time we ever tried to do anything with like a drift car. We had it at Trevor's the night before. He helped us put a mild angle kit on it to help with the drift stuff, and it didn't have an e-brake, so we were just trying to learn with what we had. Like I said, this was our first time ever trying to drift legitimately, and you know, it did pretty good. It lasted throughout most of the day, but by the end of the day, I could tell the motor was a little hurt, and we brought it back to the shop afterwards, and it is definitely down a hole. I believe it melted a piston in like the #1 cylinder, and ever since then it has just been sitting forever. And then the last video we did on this thing, I had announced that we were gonna put a 2JZ in it, mated to a CD09 transmission, and that was the original plan for the build, and to try to make ourselves a nice little drift car. The plans have changed a bit. We still are gonna go with the same transmission, the CD009 370Z tranny, but as far as the 2JZ, we're not gonna do that. You guys will hopefully see what we're doing by the end of this video. I think it's gonna be really cool. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But for starters, this thing needs to come out. It is not gonna stay SR. So for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing on the lift, start unbolting everything, and we're gonna get the SR along with the transmission connected to this thing yanked out of the car, start cleaning up the engine bay. We're not gonna need any of the old wiring. We're not gonna need pretty much anything in this engine bay except like the freaking brake booster. Everything else is gonna come out because what we wanna do with this thing is completely custom. As far as I know, this hasn't been done before. Something very similar has been done, but yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome, and I'm really excited to get the S14 build going. We've been messing with, you know, the front wheel drive and all-wheel drive K stuff for so long now. I kind of want to go back to the S14, get back into some rear-wheel drive stuff, and especially with everyone out there on YouTube right now drifting, I think this would be a good time to get a drift car together. I want to build this car to have fun and not just for drag racing like most of our other builds are. I want to be able to go drift it, go do burnouts, beat on it. It's not a super clean car. If you guys have seen it closely in the videos, like the paint is chipping in some spots. It does look really good from afar, but up close, it is not that clean of a car, which is a perfect chassis for what we want to do. So we can beat on it, have fun. But I'm going to go ahead and get the engine tore out of this thing, and we'll go from there. I have no idea how that didn't fall over. All right, I just got the SR20 and transmission pulled out of the S14. I'm going to take off some of this other wiring stuff and like this power steering reservoir, probably leave the intercooler and stuff in place just for right now. And then I'm gonna push it out and power wash the engine bay out a little bit because it's pretty disgusting in here. I do wanna change the color of the engine bay eventually, but for right now, I'm just gonna leave it because we still need to mock things up. Honestly, I don't even know how much work it's going to be to stuff in the engine that I want to in here. Hopefully we don't have too many issues for clearance. I noticed the steering shaft right there did come really close to the exhaust housing and like turbo on the side of the SR20 there. And I'm looking to put a slightly bigger motor than that in here. So hopefully, you know, there's not too big of an issue there. Either way, we're gonna get it sorted out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking all this crap off that we don't need and just lightly power wash the bay out real quick. So I just quickly power washed the bay out. I was trying to take all the engine harness and stuff out of the way, but it is pretty stuck in there. I'm gonna have to actually get up under the dash to pull all that stuff out, and this is attached to everything in the headlights and stuff, so that's gonna take me a second. So I just power washed what I could and got some other stuff out of the way and cleaned it up a bit. And I guess I can kind of go ahead and show what we got going in there. It's still staying 6 cylinders, yep. And it still has J in the chassis, or in the engine code. That's it. But it's not a 2JZ. No, it's a Honda J series. J series. Yeah, it's official. Awesome. We're gonna put a J32 into the S14. Got the idea back when we were over in Arizona at Hasport, and Brian brought it up, and a lot of you guys seemed like you liked the idea. We have a whole bunch of J's laying around, so we're gonna go ahead and try it out. It's gonna be awesome. And stuff a J32 into the S14. These things can make a lot of power stock, which will be perfect for what we need. And we have the mock-up CD09 over here. This is a bad one, but I'm gonna go pick up a brand new at some point, but for now, we'll probably use this one just to mock everything up. And then in this box right here, this just came in actually right before we left to race week. This is what will make it all work. Yeah. And we are gonna see how they did it. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open this up. So this right here is from Inline Pro, and what's inside this box right here will make that transmission fit onto that motor. So let's go ahead and open it up. Awesome. Jeremy Allen and those guys over at Inline Pro are legendary. Yeah. And they are awesome guys. Yeah, they hooked it up with this. So I love our box cutter, honestly. That was just some knife I found on the ground. Pretty good. There, guys. Cut it all up here. Still got some. It's a lot smaller than I thought. Oh yeah? It's not a good thing to hear. Inline Pro. Oh, that's there it is. Thin. Oh no, it's pretty thick. Yeah. Dang. Thick. Look at that. There it is. To which tranny? Z33, 34, yeah. E46 transmission. So it's not 2JZ. This is a J2, a Z33, Z34, or E46 transmission. Nice. So it can go to all those different boxes. Yeah, we could even make a killer product for sure. Yeah, it could fit BMW trannies as well. Yeah, whatever we need. Like in a pen. Yeah, there it is. That's the plate, and it looks like this might be like an adapter for the starter in here. Oh, okay. You know what kind of starter it uses? I have no idea. I don't either yet. It may just be a Honda one. I don't know. Depends how they did it all, I guess. It's probably something similar like the Razzle Dazzle. Yeah. How they just have it kind of stick off the back. Yep. Yeah, that looks like it's for the starter. Yeah, and then your hardware to hold everything together, and some dowel pins. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, this is awesome, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, there it is. J2CD009. Plate to engine bolts right there. This is epic. That's what we needed. So flywheel clutch, and then this thing could be running pretty quick. Yeah, the flywheel and clutch is not here yet. I was talking to them. They offer it on their website too, but they're out for a little bit on those. But we will get one on the way as soon as we can. For now, they got the plate over here, so I can at least get it all into the car and mocked up, start making motor mounts, and see what we need to do. It's like this will have these different adapters. There's a mock-up one. No, this one's no good. Oh, that was no good. But we can fit it in there with that one. Yeah. So we can get all the mounts done and everything set up for it. Yep. And I've been working on this J just a little bit while it's been over here. I took the intake manifold off. That's right over there. We actually need to flip that guy around so that the front of it is on this side, because that's going to be the front of the car right here. It was normally facing towards the back, and I actually got a whole different intake manifold with an adapter plate that's going to look really cool. It's the same one that's on the bully. Same as the bat rod. I mean, oh yeah, with the bat rod. Facing the same as the bat rod. Yeah, we got the nice Holley intake on the way, but they're a couple weeks out on the plate as well, but it's already ordered and on the way. So for now, we can make do with the stock one. And then we also had to take some coolant stuff off on the back here. There's this big coolant thing that came off the back of the block. This is probably going to get decently close to the firewall, so we want to try to eliminate as much of this as we can. These plates right here are from P2R. They're the same one that makes the adapter plate for the intake that's on the way. And that kind of deletes the EGR and all this stuff. And then we can just put a fitting right here and a fitting right here for the coolant. And we can cut our tube right here shorter, so we can tighten a lot of this up, so we can actually bring that a much closer to the firewall and stuff. Should be good to go. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and I think we're gonna probably upgrade the motor just a little bit. Brent's saying we should just go ahead and throw some cheap rods in it, just to make it solid. But I just want to make like 400 to 500 horsepower and have fun with it. And obviously it's going to get a turbo setup, which you guys will have to see later on. But for today, I'm going to try to get the plate on there, see if we can make this thing up to it just for mock-up with no clutch or flywheel or anything. And I want to see what kind of room we're looking at with it dropped in there, because I got to see if it clears like the steering column and all this stuff down here where the rack is, because the pan might, you know, need to curl over that. We'll just see how far back and stuff it fits and what needs to be moved around to make room and stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be sick. I think it's gonna be fitting.
Many J240s either, so it's
not. That's what I said earlier. I said I don't think it's been done.
It's gonna be neat.
If it has been, I'd love to see it, because I just don't think I've seen any others out there. I know there's a couple K-series ones out there. The K swaps are becoming popular in these, but we put Ks in everything. So.
Yeah. And if everyone saw the Burnout Rivals, you can see how strong that motor is. I literally held it on the rev limiter for 5
Yeah, and it went and it trapped 157 or something in the bully
on the gate. Yeah. So
yeah, with just China rods, and that's basically it.
Yep.
Like, these are stout motors, so
they're awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to try a J series out and learn a little bit more about these things. We're still keeping it Honda, but you know, we're starting to get away from just K series stuff and all that. So I think it's gonna be cool.
Here and have some more fun.
Yeah, I got a really cool idea with how I want to do the turbo kit. The original plan was to do the 2J, and we were going to do 6 individual turbos per cylinder. That was the original plan. I even ordered the turbo for it. I was going to order 5 more if the plan went through. We got these little guys right here. It's the same one that dude made the quad turbo Civic out of. I was like, dude, we should do a 2J and do 6 of them. Right. But it was just going to be a lot of work, and it would have been a really tight fit to do all that. And the 2J route just ended up not going through. And I was like, you know, the J series would be really cool as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So we're gonna see what we can do to make this thing work. That's probably what I'm gonna be spending most of my time on, you know, for these next few weeks. Just trying to get it all fabbed up, get it mocked up in there, get it mounted, start wiring it up, get an ECU on the way.
And go slide it around.
Yeah, make a little drift burnout car.
Be sweet.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this plate bolted on there and see how it fits with the tranny. And then another thing, I'm also missing the shifter for this transmission. There's a shifter piece that comes off of here, and the shifter actually sits back a ways. So I will need that for measurements to know exactly where the shifter sits in the car. Yep. But I heard you can go to a Nissan dealership and pick one of these up brand new from the dealership for not too much. So I'm gonna try to do that and track one down. So hopefully in the hopefully in the next few days, I'll just have a fresh one over here ready to go. Awesome. But that's it. The 240 is getting a J. Getting a J. Not a 2J, but a J.
Yeah.
So this should be pretty cool. We just got the mock-up tranny bolted on. That looks freaking sick. Look at that with the J series. So I'm just about ready to kind of set all that in there and see what kind of clearances we're working with.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And these transmissions are good for like 1,000+ horsepower. They've gone 8s on them.
Yeah, I've already done a client with a 370 with one. Yeah, 1,000 horses, no big deal.
And that's what's in Trevor's Supra too.
Yeah, yeah.
He just popped off a 10.9 in that heavy Supra, you know, so they can hold some weight.
They're strong, and they let you shift at a real high RPM, which is also a benefit for what we do.
How hard do you rev the J's to? Like on your bat rod?
I take that to 9,500.
95? Mm-hmm. Damn. That's a lot for a V6.
Was at 9.
Dang. Yeah. And it was on that limiter for a minute. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to stuff it in real quick. Yeah. And see how it fits in there.
It looks like it's gonna be freaking.
Yeah, it looks like it should fit pretty good. I was measuring some stuff just like with that one. I'm just worried that that's gonna come really close to the firewall and I won't have too much room for all the coolant stuff. So I'd like to try to get it as far forward as possible.
Just make room for all that.
Yeah, just because it might be a pain to work on because it's super tight back there.
Yep.
I mean, I was also looking at this. I was like, you could almost like cut some of that out if we needed to.
Yeah.
To make it work.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook it up to the engine hoist and stick it on in. All All right, we got the 240 up in the air. We got the J series in with the CD09 mock-up tranny. It actually fits up in there.
Yeah, it's
pretty dang good. I was able to put this plate back on that we had on the other tranny. I actually had to grind the webbing just a little bit, but it actually sucked up nice. It looks like the shifter is going to be right where it needs to be because there's a piece that bolts off the top of this, and the shifter actually comes back a bit. That's right where the shifter hole is. And the drive shaft should be pretty simple. Just extend it and switch it over to the right size for that. The only thing that looks like is going to be somewhat of a challenge is we're going to have to redo the subframe right here, because the way they designed this plate is the starter actually bolts right here inside this little pocket. So it needs the room to come up under right here. So we were talking about cutting this up and then making it tubular to come out and around the engine. And then if we did that, we'd be good to go. Then we could access the starter down here and still pull the pan off without having to take the engine out.
Exactly.
But it looks like it's gonna fit in there pretty good. That's about like the level it would sit at, like the right angle. That would work.
Yeah, like you said, the motor dropped down just a little bit, and they would actually square this all up. And
Yeah, it would just come down just a little bit.
Start to really look sharp.
Yeah, it's really similar to like how we had to do Honda, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Really similar, except we have the challenge of the starter being right here. But yeah, it looks good up in there. There's that inline pro adapter plate.
This will be a beast.
And Kyle, if you just unbolt this and flip it around the other way.
Oh yeah. Well, the only thing is this is made for this side because this side's higher up. See how it's see how it's higher up right here.
See that at first.
Yeah, it's not perfectly flat. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, dang, it would be perfect. Yeah, no, it has to go like that. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna work. We're definitely gonna have to do some fabrication. I don't think I've seen anyone do it before.
No.
In a 240 like this. So I know they run into the similar issues with the K series. They have to redo the pan and make clearance there. It's the same kind of deal, but we're just doing it with the J. And we'll get it all figured out, but it's in there. I mean, it's officially J swapped.
It is.
I'm gonna bring it down real quick and see what it looks like leveled. Because when we put it in, it had a gnarly angle in it, and then we came up under here, got the scissor jack, and actually leveled it out. So I'm not sure what it even looks like from the engine bay side right now.
Oh yeah, that does look good.
Dang, that's gonna look sick in there.
It is, especially when it has the LS style engine.
Yeah, imagine the Holley intake right here.
I think it's going to be a V8 under here until you really look at it
And
close.
hear it,
Yeah, and obviously it's getting some turbos.
of course.
So that setup's gonna look sick, but yeah, that fits in there pretty good.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be really cool.
Yeah, we'll clean up the bay a whole bunch. The wiring harness is super simple to do.
And if it does end up in this area, the water stuff is not even a problem.
No, that's perfect because I was worried about it coming too close to the firewall back here, but we have a good amount of space
Yeah,
to work
it's
with.
fantastic.
If it could sit right there,
It'd be perfect.
just maybe a little lower because it is kind of high up, kind of like how Honda is with the rack. We just level it out just a little bit. It's gonna be really good. Even right there looks kind of sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll drop her down some, figure out just the steering rack and
Mounts.
the steering arm, and making motor mounts. If we're reusing part of this, then we could just make mounts right to where it bolts up stock. Or we can just make some like off of the frame rail right here or something.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
gonna
gonna
be
work.
sick. Hell yeah, J Series 240.
Here it comes.
I'm surprised I got this far today.
Yeah.
Like it's already in there. Just to at least
You literally just unwrap that stuff, and like you've been going hard. So
just slapped her on in there.
yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be
It does
so
get
tight.
some imagination going for sure.
Yeah, I'm liking this idea.
I am too.
The J's fit nicely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, they're like, I measured it. They're like a perfect like 30 by 30 inch square, you know? So if you have
That's
30 by 30 almost, or like 30 to 32,
good.
it's just a square, width and length. So just, that's all you got to measure for. Well, I think tomorrow I need to try to track down an actual good tranny, because I heard a lot of Nissan dealerships might just stock them. If I can get one ready to go, I can at least get the shifter. I could actually leave the mock-up one on there for now, but I just want the shifter on there. Then we can start making mounts and stuff, and then probably come back and unbolt all that.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
put
was
the engine on like a jack stand and
what I was thinking.
a jack and get it exactly where we want it.
Get everything out, dump it, square it all where it needs to be, and then we can start figuring out the cross member stuff right away and just keep flying through this thing.
Yeah, and if you get the shifter, we can try to get it in the hole and make sure everything clears here.
Yeah.
Because there's a possibility it might have to come forward a little bit, but
Which would be
it's always
fine
connected.
if it even, yeah, I know it doesn't need to go any more far back, which is good news. I'm fine with if it needs to come forward. We got plenty of space right here.
Yeah.
I can still do a full size radiator so it won't get hot.
Cooling will be good.
Yeah, we don't need any more overheating issues like the Rousey. We need a full size, especially if we're doing burnouts and mobbing it around.
I mean, if it had to, it looks like it could go back a little too.
Yeah.
Just if the shifter just needs to go back like an inch or so, I mean.
Yeah, it can go back if we need to. It has room to go wherever right now, and it's looking good where it's at. So,
Yeah, it does.
So I think we're in pretty good shape right here. I was also thinking about probably cutting all this out in the center right here and make it so the front end can just kind of unbolt, so that for future work on it, we can just unbolt the front end and slide it all out instead of having to put it in at a gnarly angle.
Besides,
It's kind of like how Wago is.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Wago and the EFs is that front piece unbolts, take that out, and they just slide right out. You just turn them sideways.
Makes it real nice.
Yeah, so if we can do like a little tube front end on it,
Yep.
get that all figured out, this thing's gonna be sick.
Style deal.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
put like a bash bar on it or something.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, guys, well, this is the start of the new 240 project,
It's rad now. Here we
J
go.
Series 240. We're gonna make it work. Not sure how long it's gonna be till it fires up, but I'll be coming here every day trying to figure it out.
Awesome. This is gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
It's a little bit of a different build than what we normally got going on, other than the J. The J is what we're used to, but everything else is new. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to head out of here, but I added a couple more things just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to do with the build. And check this out. I cannot stop looking at this thing. I know this is a super, super rough mock-up, but we got a couple turbos on some 2x4s right here. The motor's sitting a little crooked and not exactly in place where it needs to be, but this is what I'm trying to go for. Turbo placement, you know, something about like that. I'm giving you guys a super look into the future. I was gonna keep all this a secret, but I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to kind of line them up and see how it was all gonna look. And then I'm thinking just the exhaust, just up and out. Obviously this thing is really far from being done. We have a lot of fabrication to do to make the oil pan and steering rack and everything fit. You know, we have to make mounts, wiring, like it's a full build that still needs to get done. We literally just rested the motor in here, so not much is really done. It's just kind of sitting in there. But man, that looks so freaking sick. Let me know how you guys like the idea, especially with the Holley intake right here in the middle. We get a nice intercooler right here. They both go into that. And just, you know, mild built motor for like 400 to 500 horsepower. This thing is going to be so much fun. So that's what I'm thinking with the 240. I've had this idea for quite some time now, and I just never got around to pulling it in here and getting the motor ripped out. But I think after looking at it right now, I'm probably going to go full send on this car. It's going to see a lot more of my time than anything else right now. I want to get like the MR2 and everything else put back together so they're at least running and driving in between. But I'm going to be dedicating a lot of time into getting the 240 back up and going, because I want to have some fun doing some drift stuff and burnouts and get away from the drag racing a little bit. And I think this will be a perfect car to do that. So it's going to be sick. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome.
Like that?
It'll be really tight.
It's going to be so dope.
It looks epic already.
And you have transmission getting put together for the CRX, right?
PG, everything's here, so yeah. Getting
Nice.
assembled.
Yep.
gonna be awesome.
Shane's little CRX is getting put together, so hopefully that thing can get done soon. I've been telling him I'm down to help him with a manifold, but I'm super busy too, trying to get all this stuff done. But
Shoot, if we put some caps in there, some plugs, we could go drifting with that thing too,
oh yeah,
right?
oh yeah, and the CRX, just
Yeah, and
the front axles. What do you think, Jamie?
I love it, dude.
I think it's gonna
Can't
be
wait to see
sick.
the intake manifold and everything.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying earlier. I was like,
Everybody's gonna think it's an LS. That's what's gonna be funny about it.
yeah, with the Holley intake and stuff.
That's what everybody always thought about the Bully.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I think this is gonna be sick. It looks way better than I expected, and it fits in there way better than I expected. Like, we have no mounts, and it's
so
resting
much-
pretty good in
There's
there.
so much more room behind it than I thought.
There she is, boys. The new 240 build. What's that say?
Rocky Mountain Race Week 2021.
Oh, 2021. Yeah, we were talking about maybe bringing this girl to race week. We'll see how far it gets in a year. But I think this would be like an awesome race week car too. Either this or the hatch. So we'll see where the.
I almost built the hatch.
Yeah, the hatch would be better if it was, you know, put together and ready to go. But I just don't know where we're going to be at with the trainees and stuff in like a year out from now. But if that stuff is done and finalized and I have a couple backups, we might bring the hatch next year for race week. But we're already planning now,
Yeah.
because with how unprepared we were this year, it was a struggle.
It was a struggle.
But we made it. But yeah, that's what she's looking like, boys. I'm gonna head out for tonight, get back here tomorrow, and probably start figuring out what we need to do to make mounts and stuff, get the subframe ripped out of it. And Sean was over here helping me look at some stuff and getting some ideas. So it's gonna be sick. I'm pulling the trigger on it. J Series S14, twin turbo. But yeah, be sure to let me know what you guys think of the build. I think it's gonna be so sick. Also, one last thing, be sure to go check out Inline Pro. They hooked it up with the adapter plate, so huge thanks to them. If you guys need any J series or even like K to whatever transmission adapter plates, they have a whole bunch of stuff. Be sure to go check out their website. They have much more than just that. And yeah, awesome company. So huge shout out to them as well. We'll see you guys later.